Yes, it's Pedro Espada.
What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you see Pedro Espada?
He's a crook.
He took a position against the Democrats and then switched their majority to the Republicans. And then he switched back.
Are we children or are we grown-ups? You know, that was awful for the children to see.
Part of New York's issues are the lack of ethics in government.
I think that ethics reform is absolutely important. We have one of the most, I don't want to say polluted or corrupt, but they both come to mind, Capitol houses in the nation. Frankly, we need to do better.
There are leaders, and they're the ones that we look up to for example, and I think definitely reforming that would have a great impact on the state.
You want the politician ideally to go forward with what they promised during the campaign.
They are letting us down when they're not keeping their campaign promises.
You make a promise, you should keep it. Once again, it goes back to a question of, are you a person of morals, good morals, or are you just a person that will accept anything? And that's where the problem comes down to in Albany, in New York State, and all over the world.
First, it's important for them to keep their word, and secondly, unless there are these reforms, nothing else good can happen in Albany. So this is the most essential thing they can do.
Last November, New Yorkers spoke loud and clear. They said we've had enough of Albany's dysfunction and of corrupt politicians. My neighbors weren't being served. And instead of representing the people, the senator from our district represented the worst of government in Albany. I'm here to say that we defeated him, and I am ready to be an agent of reform. I have pledged my commitment to reform Albany, and 53 of my colleagues have done the same. We heard the message of the people. We heard it loud and clear. And now, we must deliver. At the top of our list is ethics reform. Albany has seen a share of unethical politicians who have stolen taxpayer money, abused their offices, and held themselves above the law. Common sense legislation has been bogged down for decades because of partisan politics and special interests. And for far too long, money has had a louder voice in politics than the people of the state, from Western New York to the Bronx and all the way out to Long Island. That's why I'm sponsoring a bill that will require comprehensive financial disclosure from all elected officials. So I say to all my colleagues and the 53 other senators, Democrats and Republicans who signed Mayor Koch's pledge, keep your promise. Pass the pledge and put government back where it belongs, in the hands of the great citizens of New York.